Good morning, everybody. Rodney here. Hope everybody is doing well. Let me kill that before we go on any further. Hope everybody is well. We've got Mela in the house. We got Max Air. Max, good morning. My regards to Tammy Jean. We got Barkley, 107 Drones. Hope everybody's weekend is starting off good. Mine started off on a rainy Saturday. And it looks like I need to do some work on learning how to use YouTube again because they seem to have changed things. And this is the second Sunday in a row that I haven't been able to see the chats on my Sunrise live stream. So I have got some work to do. Ray of Sunshine, hello, and welcome to the chat. You like that, huh? Yeah, I'm experimenting with StreamYards. They're allowing us to do play little videos now. So you may see more and more of that are going on. Like the scrolling caption says, if you had a birthday last week or this coming week, happy birthday to you. Jerry Bauer, good morning. Hope you have a great birthday. While we're waiting for people to come in, I think I'm going to go ahead and put the link into the chat. If you care to join, if you're already in the chat and you care to join me. Oh, I forgot to send the email out. I am sorry. No wonder. Wow. Peter, I'm going to post it in the chat here. So, and I forgot. I guess I forgot to hit the send button, or I hit the send button, it didn't send, or whatever. So, you should be getting your email now. And there's the link anyway. Alex Escardo, good morning. So, my apologies for those that get the invite through email. Crush that like. Yeah, thank you. Please do. Anyway, like I said earlier on my live stream, they are still working on the bathroom. We've had a couple of setbacks, stuff that they couldn't have foreseen happen. Rain for one. Okay, we got. Hey, Peter.
Morning, Rodney.
How you doing, brother?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks.
So, sorry about that. It just I don't know why I forgot to send it.
Oh, we're here now. That's all that matters.
AARP moment. Yeah, that's pretty much the truth, Mela. Flying Flynn Media. Good morning, John. So, and again, the link is in the chat. If any of you in the chat would care to join us, please feel free to do so. And I am going to get rid of that banner for the moment. So, Peter, how you doing, man?
Yeah, doing pretty good, thanks. Yeah. Not much been happening.
Yeah. It's beginning to turn fall over there, isn't it?
Yeah, although it's still pretty warm here at the moment. We're pretty close to 100 degrees today.
Oh,
it's
wow.
going to be the same tomorrow and Monday too.
Oh, okay. Well, it's still a little chilly here.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a milder winter than the last couple of winters. That's for sure. It seems like every winter, the winters get milder and milder.
Yeah.
Must be all that global warming, you know.
Just trying to pop out the chat here, but I can't find where to do it now. Oh, hang on, there it is. I think I got it. Wasn't letting me scroll to the top. I've got it now.
Can't go away. Why is it every time I get in front of this to do a live stream, you got to be up in my face? Anybody want a slightly used cat?
No, thanks. Had to go to the cardiologist on Thursday. That was the highlight of the week.
Do what?
Had to go to the cardiologist on Thursday.
Yeah.
Just for annual ultrasound thing.
Oh, okay. How's that going?
Haven't seen the results yet. I've got to go back and see the guy in a couple of weeks to get the results.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Well,
hopefully everything's okay.
Dennis Slave Lady just made it to China.
Yeah, I saw in the chat there. He said he was in Shanghai.
Yep.
Yeah.
A hot rod.
Yeah. Morning.
Morning.
How's it going, Rod?
It goes. I'm gonna go flying here in a little bit.
Oh, I wished I could. Be
Raining out
rad
there?
in the house. So I did something really stupid. I left my battery at work. My batteries.
Uh-oh. You know, that sounds like, God, when was it? I don't know, a month or plus ago. I was flying up with Ken, place it here, and I had got to the location. I didn't even know he was coming, and I got to the location, so I put my bag of batteries on this table that was there. And when I left, I packed everything up, but I left the battery sitting on the table. Ken figured it out when he was the last guy there, and he's like, hey, wait a second. There's all these batteries here. So.
Oh, so you were able to get them back. Thank
Yeah, I
goodness
got
for
it
that.
back. When he did that trip down to go fly with Maddie and TJ and all of them in the middle of that week on a Wednesday, he came by and he dropped them off for me. So
Oh,
it was great.
That's good. At least you got them back. That's the important thing.
Now I got more. So I ordered some new batteries. The Tattoo 6S 1400s. They work really well on my two 6S drones.
Oh, cool. Good morning, Chris Hope. Jerry Franks, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to everyone in chat.
So,
And my God, Rodney, that domain 3.6 6S,
Yeah.
holy hell, that thing is a blast. I mean, not that I don't like the Baby Hawk, which is kind of basically the same size, but man, that drone is just a blast to fly.
I bet it is. I almost bought one the other day.
One of those?
Uh-huh.
I'll just say I highly recommend it. It's just
Well,
a
I
fun
decided
drone.
I had to wait because first off, I got to get the bathroom finished. So I can't spend any major money until that's done. And then I want to get a new computer. So I'll just have to, be satisfied with my two 6S 5-inch drones, my one 4S 5-inch drones, and my two Baby Hawks and my two Smart 35s.
Still got enough to go on with there for a while.
Huh?
Still got enough to go on there with for a while.
Oh yeah, there's 3 of them that's broke right now. So
Okay.
actually 4 of them, but I still got 3 to fly. So
Yeah, when everybody asks, why do you have so many FPV drones? Because, well, they break. So need one in case I break one.
well, at one point, I was actually down to none of them
Ouch.
flying. I had to actually work on a couple of them just to have something to fly. Fortunately, the 2 that I worked on were simple. I think they were like one was a motor change. That wasn't too bad. And the other one ended up just being a wire that had come off the air unit. So
Yeah, I got a battery right now that's down the balance lead. Two of the ports got chopped off the balance lead in flight. The wires look kind of okay. I don't know whether I could just put a new. Anyways, I'll have somebody look at it. I got the new leads, so
yeah, good deal.
cut it and solder new ones on. I guess I don't know.
I have been considering getting like some TX30 connectors, male and female, and setting up all my motor wires to where they come off the ESC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I have either the male or the female XT30 there, and then on the motor side have the other one. That way, if you have to replace a motor, you just unplug it. And
It really surprises me that the FPV community hasn't come up with a standard for motors like that where you just plug them in. I mean, you have that with GPS, because the GPS, well, you have it with the O3 air unit, right? There's a plug that plugs into the O3 air unit. You don't solder the wires to the O3 air unit. But I've kind of wondered why the flight controllers don't come with some sort of standard sort of connectors for different devices on the board instead of having to solder them on the board, right?
yeah, who knows? Hey, Brad, you saying you and Al are arriving midday? I will be arriving sometime in the afternoon on the 5th. I'm flying into Orlando in the morning, so it'll take about an hour or two. I think it's like a 2-hour drive from Orlando to Stewart. So I'll see you guys there.
I would encourage a few people to try to take the train out of Orlando. I don't know where you'd pick up the rental car on the other end, probably Lauderdale or someplace. I don't remember where the stop is down there. But
I'm just my plan is I'm renting a car there at the Orlando airport, driving down, and then Sunday afternoon I'll probably drive back up. I got a hotel reservation in Orlando there at the airport. I'll drive back up, turn in my car, and spend the night there and leave out Monday morning. So that's my current plan.
Yeah, you should be back home before noon.
Yeah, that's the idea. Get back here and rest before I have to go back to work.
Did you get a direct? Well, actually, where are you flying out of?
I'm flying out of Richmond.
Okay.
So I fly into Atlanta. I catch a flight from Atlanta to Orlando. You fly Southwest, they very seldom have any direct flights.
Got it.
I mean, if I was going to Atlanta to visit like Dennis Lovelady, yeah, that's a direct flight.
Yeah, you always have that. If flying to a hub city is usually
I had an aunt pass away this week, and I was looking to go to her funeral. It was back in Oklahoma, and I was looking at some of the flights, and almost every one of the flights were in excess of 5 hours long.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
With like 3 flights changing planes in Denver, Colorado.
Ooh, yucky.
And those were like 9-hour flights.
Wow.
But like I said, for the same reason why I couldn't buy a new drone, I had to I had to save my money. Fortunately, they streamed her celebration of life, so at least I got to see that.
Great.
So Mela says you can't get to heaven without going through Atlanta.
If you fly Delta, that's true.
If you fly Southwest, that's practically true.
True.
Or Southwest, I have Drone Bum. Back in 2019, Drone Bum was coming to spin up, and he was going to be flying to Austin on the Friday before that, and his flight got canceled, I guess due to weather or something. So he got up the next day and caught a flight and had to go all the way to Phoenix, Arizona.
Ooh.
And then back. That doesn't make any sense to me.
The they just route you through their system, and
I
sometimes
know.
sometimes the routes just don't make a whole lot of sense. So
I think they do that and they charge you more
mhm.
because well, you got to fly to Denver. Well, what about Atlanta? I'm flying from Richmond to Atlanta. That's only like an hour and a half flight,
Yeah.
and then from Texas or from Atlanta to Texas, that uh,
That was the one downside when Delta bought Northwest
bum.
was
Good morning.
Northwest had that hub of the regional jets in Memphis, and they flew around the East Coast out of there, and Delta ended up killing that after they fought it off. But for little smaller airports, using that as the Memphis as a hub was kind of great in the Southeast.
Yeah, I've flown those little puddle jumpers before.
It was the CRJ jets for the most part.
Do
Some
what?
props. It was the CRJs, like CRJ 200s, CRJ 900s. There were a few prop planes that they flew out of there too.
Yeah. Well, I've flown both on the regional jets and the turboprops. In fact, flying from DFW to Tulsa, Oklahoma, is pretty much always a turboprop. And I tell you what, that's quite the ride right there. Especially
Yeah.
when the seat that you're sitting in is that I was in a window seat and the prop was right there. I mean,
Mm.
the prop was about 4 foot from my head when it came around. So
Sounds like when I went to basic training in Lawton. That flight was a turboprop from DFW to Lawton.
Okay.
hey, Dennis. Okay, good to see you. Glad you made it there, buddy. Tim Jackson. Good morning. So, but yeah, I remember flying into Dallas one day. This was probably about 10 years ago or so. They they had a Thunder. It was flying into DFW because it was an American Airlines flight out of Ronald Reagan, and they had to make a circle because there was a storm going over the airport. And so we're circling around, and we're in this. You can see all these cumulus clouds, these storm clouds, right? They're billowing up around you and stuff. And every now and then we'd fly through one, and every time we flew through one, man, that plane just
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Good morning.
the roughest flight I had in the air in the 20 plus years that I flew around. Had a flight from Columbus, Ohio to Atlanta. And you know how those sort of low pressures sort of hang across the eastern US, right? We literally were flying right over top of the storms all the way down. That plane was let me get that focus. That plane was bouncing, and at one point, holy simoleons, it's the hardest hit I've ever had in the air. But you could literally feel the plane. It smacked. I mean, it just literally smacked, floated up, ooh, and then smacked back down, just like skipping a rock off of water is literally what that plane did. But it skipped off the top of the clouds, and that would kind of hurt because I mean, it was it just bury you in the seat when it did it. So
Yeah, when I lived in Texas, I was working for a company called Cornerstone Automation Systems, and they sent me on a job up here in Washington near Baltimore. And then I had to go from there to Las Vegas. And so I caught my flight out of BWI, and we were flying along. And for whatever reason, I had a first class seat. And normally I did never flew first class, but it was actually the travel agency that the company used said it was cheaper for me to fly first class than it was to fly coach. So
sometimes it happens.
sometimes, but anyway, we're sitting there, and we were probably, I don't know where we were at, but we weren't too far from Las Vegas, and all of a sudden, this plane just dropped. I mean, it just like, poof. And this lady who had a child, she was like in the aisle up in front of me on the opposite side of the plane. She had set her wine glass down on the floor because she was having to do something with the baby, right?
There goes the wine glass.
Got to catch it on the way down.
No, you're not going to believe it. Nobody will believe it, but I swear this actually happened. That plane dropped. That wine goblet never left the deck. Never spilt a drop.
Weird.
The plane went down, and I'm sitting there watching it because I'm thinking this is going to get messy, right?
Uh-huh.
It never moved.
Weird.
Not a drop came. You could see that the glass would drop, and then you saw the wine rise up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it never spilt out or anything.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, and I looked up at the flight attendant. I said, "Did you see that?" She goes, "I did. Never seen it before."
Yeah, you know,
craziest thing. We must have dropped. I don't know how far we dropped, but it must have been at least 500 plus feet because it was.
yeah. So the Rocky Mountains out there, this is something the pilots kind of warn you about when you're flying out there. But when you start going over the Rockies, they're like, put your seatbelts on because there have been God knows how many planes that either hit downdrafts or updrafts off the mountains out there. That could be a really rough stretch in the air. You can get bounced around pretty good around the Rocky Mountains. There's just something about the way those mountains formed.
The couple of times I've flown out to California, you get over the Rocky Mountains, and it gets kind of bumpy.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. See, Bum is in the house. Philip Koshat, good morning. I don't see anyone else. Tim Jackson, good day to you, sir.
My favorite airport for takeoff, bar none, is John Wayne in Orange County out there in California. Because they have a really nasty sound ordinance. So on takeoff out there, they basically roll the plate up, they lock the brakes, they go full power, release the brakes, you kind of launch like a rocket. They literally go up to 1,000 feet, and then they literally put the engines on idle. So you go from like this to like this, and you're just kind of like floating and hovering. And so the rule is they have to be at 1,000 feet before they're off the end of the airport because of the sound ordinance of around the airport. You cruise out over the ocean, and then they finally power back up.
That's absurd.
But it's the greatest takeoff ever because you don't do that anywhere else. It's like a roller coaster ride. It's a blast.
Yeah. Okay. See. Thanks for sharing, everyone. Have fun flying. Have to head out. Hey, Ray of Sunshine, you have a good day, my friend.
Ooh, I see where you're not flying, Rodney.
Huh?
I see where you're not flying. Holy smokies, a bunch of rain on the East Coast right now.
Yeah, right now it's not raining, but the potential's there.
I'm looking at the radar. Yeah, the potential is definitely there for you guys. It's raining from like Florida to New York. There's a nasty little band of thunderstorms just north of the Florida-Georgia border.
Jerry Franks, Gina's Point. Good morning. Yeah, I had my drone in hand, my controller. I was getting ready to walk out the door. My wife goes, "It's raining." I'm like, but I just looked out there 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So I brought the drone back in here and went out and got into the truck and did a short live stream. And I'm frustrated with YouTube at the moment. Seems like they've changed things in their app, and now I can't. When I'm doing a live stream, I can't seem to find it. So it's hard to see the chats, and fortunately, I got a couple of messages. One from Brad saying, "Yeah, you're live and we can hear you." And so, of course, I didn't see that until after I ended the live stream. So, but at least I know.
You need to do like Dennis, have 2 devices.
I have texted Noah to pick me us. So, huh?
Is that Noah with the ark, is it? Or
Do what? Oh, I see what she said. I see what she's saying.
it's in relation to the rain, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has rained so much this week. I haven't had a chance to fly at all because everything's been so wet.
Yeah, we haven't had any rain for a couple, probably 2 or 3 weeks now. It's been pretty warm.
That's bad. Yeah, I mean,
That's good in some ways because
some rain at least once a week, I think.
Yeah, we've had enough rain for sure this year in Florida that hopefully we won't have issues like we did last year with forest fires.
Yeah. As I just had the grass cut last weekend, so I don't want it to rain. Started growing again.
Rain has left out here and going to be sunny soon. Hope. Good luck on that, Philip. No doubt. Yeah.
Just put the artificial turf in, Peter. Paint it green. It'll look great, always.
Better than Canadian snow, Jerry. Yeah.
Not really practical here. Too much area to cover.
Or do like they do in Arizona, just put rocks everywhere.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't work either. I just got control weeds at my place.
Hey, Johnny Dronefly, good morning.
Yeah, morning,
Johnny's.
Now you're talking, Hot Rod.
Wonder if Johnny's got his 5-inch done yet.
Is he building a 5-inch?
His son-in-law is building it for him. Yes.
Oh, okay. So
last time I saw it wasn't done, but
he's making the switch.
Yeah, he's making the switch.
Good on you, Johnny. Good on you, brother.
I think he'll be surprised when he makes that switch how much easier it is to fly versus flying the Avata. And flying the Cinewhoops, period, can be challenging because of wind, and half the time you feel like you're not flying, you're flying against the wind, and you're fighting the wind more than trying to figure out where you're going, kind of thing.
Yeah, Akira. So, good morning, Warren.
Yeah, morning.
Yeah, I think you know. I will say one thing, Johnny. If you find yourself crashing a lot, don't give up. Just keep at it. Keep at it. If I can do it, and if Rodney can do it, then certainly you can do it. I remember when you used to say you would never fly FPV, Rod.
Yeah, I know. I did used to say that, and now look at me. I'm doing flips, rolls. And I'm so bored with rolls. I'm now doing 720s instead of 360s because 360s is boring. So I'm going twice around, and now pretty soon I'm probably going to be going 3 times around when I do rolls.
Yeah. So
what I want to practice.
It's ready, but we are getting. We got to program it yet.
Okay.
what I want to practice is I got it in my head. I need to go high up and do it. But like, normally you'll do the turn, right? What I want to do is do a roll in the turn and come out of the roll still in the middle of the turn, turning kind of thing. I think that would be kind of a cool little
Looks like my
visual.
construction crew just showed up. Morning, Ronnie. God bless America's in the house. David, AZ Drone Dude, good morning.
Is that your bathroom crew?
Yeah, so it may get noisy here in a bit. I may go ahead and end this early because of that. So, plus I got some stuff to do. I had to move some stuff around in here just to get my screen up.
Okay.
But that's the way it goes, man.
Yep.
Looks like you're having fun with your 5-inch though, Rodney.
Oh man, I love the 5-inchers. I mean,
After fly that baby hawk for so long.
well, I've been flying. I started off with the baby hawk, and I had a 5-inch that I had been given by Brent Nunley years ago, but I managed to break it and had built a couple of more. So I've been flying 5-inches almost as long as I've been doing the baby hawk. But the baby hawk by far is my favorite. I'll be honest. It is my favorite in it because it flies so well.
It's
It flies
buttery smooth is kind of the way that I tell everybody. The way that thing flies, it's really nice.
Uh-oh. Thunderstorms in Savannah.
Oh yeah. That's that line that I talked about earlier. It's going across southern Georgia right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the 5-inch. This one here, this is one of the broken ones. The frame is an Apex Micro 5-inch frame, and it flies beautifully as well. But a couple of weekends ago, when I was down in North Carolina visiting with Drone Bum, I plugged the sucker in and it just smoked.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't. It still smells like it smoked.
Yeah.
I plugged it in and I looked at Bum. I go, look, it's smoking.
Yeah.
Always a bad sign.
So I think I had crashed it a couple of days before, and I have a funny feeling I knocked something loose and it shorted out, and it just didn't. I just didn't detect it until.
Is that an all-in-one flight controller?
No,
on that one.
No, it's a stack.
So maybe you'll get lucky. The advantage of not having an all-in-one is that maybe it's just the ESCs. You can replace that.
Yeah,
not the
I'm
flight
pretty
controller.
sure it's the ESC. But anyway, hey, Mel 400 AGL. Good morning. We got unlimited vertical in the house as well.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, since I got that domain 3.6, to be honest, I haven't been flying the Baby Hawk. Although I got some batteries over there beeping at me that I'm charging up so that I can fly the Baby Hawk some today.
I tell you what, if you don't want that Baby Hawk anymore, I'll
yeah. No,
just
you don't have the 03 one either, do you? You got
no, I don't.
Yeah,
not that it matters. Kelly Shore let me fly the 03, his 03 been up, and I think it's great. But
yeah,
now
flight wise, it's no different from yours. It's just the video.
Right. Yeah, so. It flew just like mine. It's just the video's a little bit better, especially since you can do it in 4K as well, and it's got this. It's able to stabilize itself. So
the beauty of the 03 air unit is the fact you don't need to carry a GoPro around. Get a dead cat version frame and be happy.
Yeah.
Without that extra weight on the top, the drones are just mostly so much smoother because you're not carrying that weight around. It doesn't sort of unbalance the drone.
GTFU Max, whatever that means. Anybody venture to guess?
Got a rough idea.
I think he's yelling at himself to get up.
Yeah.
He's still in bed, so he's yelling at himself.
I got it. Yeah.
He's probably still in bed, and he's yelling at himself to get out of bed.
Get the F up. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. That would be my guess. I could be wrong, but
Jerry Franks. Okay, Jerry Franks, you have a good day if you're still listening. I didn't see that message, but you have a good day, brother.
you know how it is. We all do it once in a while. You wake up and you just sit there, and it's like, oh, I got to get going. Oh,
Can Lance join the panel to do a hyperlapse? Asking for a friend. Well, yeah, he can. Lance, if you want to join the panel, Max, you can join the panel too as well. Let me repost that link. I posted it pretty much at the beginning, but there's more people here now. If anybody cares to join in with us, please feel free to do so.
Get him Miss Max at the meetup.
Do what?
Get him Miss Max at the meetup. He won't be there with his plane for all the FPV guys on Sunday to chase around like last year.
Oh, Max is not going to be there?
They're going on vacation or something. They have another trip.
Oh, okay.
Him and Tammy.
So what's this? Did anybody get that great deal on the DJI Mavic 3 Pro on Amazon? I'm hearing various stories on that. Oh, is that the one where they mispriced it?
$7.99. Yeah, Johnny's got canceled. Some others got canceled, and then I saw an article I think yesterday where Amazon was honoring it. So I have no bloody clue. I think some did. I think some probably got it. Some probably got a sorry kind of thing, and
well,
makes you wonder how that happened.
If I had come across that and thought there's a chance that they'd actually honor it, I probably would have bought one. Otherwise, I probably won't ever buy another DJI drone.
I have that drone, so I don't know why I'd need a second one. And since I barely fly my camera drones anymore, I don't know why.
John says he's still trying to get it. You know, I think if somebody makes a mistake like that and they misprice something, the company should honor it. They should take the loss. If they can't train their employees to be correct, then, you know.
Yeah, because of the way Amazon works, though, you have to wonder, was that a seller issue or was that an Amazon issue?
True.
As to who was at fault for that pricing here?
I guess that's a true statement, too.
So you got two different legal entities there.
I'm sure they'd have a paragraph in the fine print there to cover those sort of things, to cover themselves.
But yeah, Rodney, I'm a little bit like you right now. As far as camera drones, you know, there's the talk. Oh, the Mavic 4 is coming. Until they give me what I'm looking for in the next camera drone, I'm not buying. And what I want, and it's specific to my use case, which is NASA and the rocket launches, right? I want a good optical zoom on a camera drone. Until I get that, no matter what they put on there, it's pretty much useless compared to what I have at the moment. It just won't be worth the upgrade.
No one should buy DJI.
Yeah. I'll say it for Max. DJI sucks. And I'll tell you the same thing I keep telling Max every time he says that. Great. NASDAQ rules. Dow Jones Industrial. NASDAQ. Yesterday, they all sucked. The market dropped like a rock.
Yeah. So, you know what? And I have said many times that I'll probably never buy another DJI drones. And it's not that I don't like DJI drones. I think they're great drones. I just don't do enough photography type or cinematic type stuff to really justify buying it anymore.
And you know, it's something I've been saying for a couple of years and trying to get across to everybody. If you look at it, drones have basically plateaued. It's a lot like cell phones, where it's like, tell me how that Mini 4 Pro is so magically better than the Mini 3 Pro. Or you could look at this thing and go, okay, they did a few software tweaks here and there, a little hardware tweak, but it's like, is $1,100 better than the Mini 3? Probably not.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, Ken. Place it here. And let's see. Ronnie, God bless, says, I agree. If you mistakenly advertise an incorrect price, they should honor it. We had a local retailer accidentally price gas at 34 cents a gallon. They honored it for everyone in line. I've heard of that happening too. Yeah. USA Drone Flyer Captain Joe America in the house. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, good
Morning,
morning.
Joe. And that's not to say, Rodney, the people that are buying it, great. If you can afford it and you want it, great.
Hey.
Be happy, right? More power to you.
I watch videos all the time. There are some great drone pilots out there that have DJI drones, and they do good work. Mm-hmm. They use the drone exactly what it's good for. That's what I'm saying is, I don't do that. I don't have enough interest in doing cinematic work like that to justify buying a new one or getting the next great. Mm-hmm. I've got the P4P. I've got the Spark, which I haven't flown in a couple of years, and I've got the Air 2, and I'm happy with that. For what I do with them, Saturdays and Sundays, I send it up. We look at the sunrise. I may fly around the neighborhood. I come back down, and then I don't touch it again for another week.
I still have my Air 2, and the reason is the Insta 360 Sphere. I have one of those to attach to the Air 2 frame. It's kind of fun to play with once in a while.
So, anyway, what's John says Amazon should vet their suppliers and their stock if they are selling it on their platform. I know I have ordered stuff off of Amazon, and then I'd get a message from the supplier saying, "Oh, we can't send it for this reason or that reason," and that's frustrating because you spend any money in any large amount of money on something, you would expect them to have it in stock or whatever.
All those resellers sign all the same rules, but it's still really up to the community to report the bad resellers. Just because the reseller signs off on this stuff that Amazon makes them sign off on doesn't mean that their policies are going to necessarily match that.
Hey guys, I need to go talk to the crew for a minute. I'll be right back. Peter, okay. you and Rod keep it going for a minute.
Okay.
So Peter, how hot is it down there now? Since you're going into, it's starting to cool off, right?
In theory, it reached 37 Celsius today, which is getting up in the high 90s. And it's going to be, I think, 38 for the next 2 days. So going to be pretty close to 100 for the next couple of days, isn't it? Then it's
what is it in Darwin?
Darwin's pretty much around 31, 32, just about all year round Celsius. Huh, that's sort of in the tropics up there. Yeah, so that'd be in the...
I remember being
in the high 80s, low 90s.
I remember being in Sydney in the winter. Darwin was still up there in the 30 plus Celsius. I'm like, holy smokes, I wouldn't want to be there in the summer.
Yeah, and it stays pretty constant all year, except that the summertime it's pretty humid and stormy. It gets all the tropical storms in the summertime. But in the winter, it's sort of like a drier heat, but it's still up around the 30 degrees or more.
I guess the good news for you guys this year is no fires and no floods for a while.
Yeah, we had a bad fire here just a couple of weeks back. In the west of the state, that was caused by, I think, lightning strikes. We had some storms go through, and that burnt quite a few houses. So that was a fairly big one. But
I don't remember seeing that
under
hit the
control.
news over. I don't remember seeing that hit the news over there. I'm sure it hit the news over there, but not here.
Oh, it was in the news here. No, it wouldn't be classed as a big enough fire really to reach internationally. But
Sure.
no, we've had heaps bigger than those ones. No, that's what. With the weather has been a lot milder this year, so so there's a lot less fires around. Yeah, so
It's always a good thing.
Shouldn't be any more now for a while. Till next summer.
Considering the disasters guys have had over the last few years down there, both fires and floods and everything else, it's like, give me a normal year without problems, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now we've had really bad fires here in the past.
So what have you been flying or shooting with your camera, since I see the camera there in the background?
The camera hasn't moved for about 12 months, that one. No, I haven't been flying anything. Got my old Maverick, first version Maverick Pro, sitting on the floor behind me there in its case. That's where it's been for about 4 years. I haven't flown the thing.
You need
I don't want to fly these days. I might get the tallow out every now and then and give it a bit of a zap around the house. That's about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to do like Rodney and get like the little tiny hawk FPV trader one just to fly around the house kind of thing for fun inside the house.
Tallow is fun enough for me. Dude, that's about all I'm really interested in flying these days.
Before my time, but I've kind of seen pictures of them. It looks like it'd be fun.
It is, yeah. No, they're good.
I think that's what I like about the FPV. It's not about taking the pictures. It's just about the fun of flying. Unlike the camera drones, where camera drones is more about the scene, right? The sunrise, the waves, whatever it may be, the waterfall, which is great. I love watching them. I love shooting them from time to time, but eventually, unless you're traveling a lot, you've probably shot all the really good things in your area probably 50 times, and after a while, it kind of gets a little boring looking at the same thing again and again and again and again. Although I will say with sunrises here, what makes it fun is when there's clouds on the horizon. That's kind of what makes the variation in what the sunrise.
Oh, that's right. Like. Yeah. So. Nothing better than the sunrise was good sort of cloud coverage if you get the lighting right.
The boring one is when there's no cloud. It's like great. It looks like the same one as yesterday.
Yeah. Philip Koshap wants me to put the lens cap back on the camera. Don't think it is. Not sure if it's on or not. Don't think it is.
Oh, the one in the background.
That's my old Canon one. That one. That's one I bought when I retired. That one back in 2006. I bought that camera.
So, do you got any newer cameras that you use?
Yeah, I've got a Panasonic Micro Four Thirds one that I've had that for a few years. I really haven't used that a lot either. So.
Wow, we need to get you out of the house a little more, Peter. Get you to go take some pictures. You live in a nice area. You got to start sharing with the rest of us.
Main camera I use these days is the phone or the iPad.
Well, yeah, that seems to be the case.
So much more convenient these days.
I mean, let's see here. What was it? The Samsung S23 with that 200 megapixel sensor on it. It's kind of stupid how good some of that stuff is, but they still have their challenges because the sensors are not that large. There was a rumor that the S24 was going to have a 1-inch.
Wow.
Same rumor for the S25 that supposedly they stick a 1-inch sensor inside the phone. Yeah. And ironically, those are the ones that I think is about when drones plateaued. I mean, you look at the Mavic 2 Pro, right? That was a 1-inch sensor. The Phantom 4 was a 1-inch sensor, and I have the Mavic 3. I have the Mavic 3 Pro, but what you get off of a Mavic 2 Pro, if you look at stuff coming off a Mavic 3 Pro and you look at it and go, is it really that much better? And you kind of go, maybe a little bit, but it's like, again, is it $3,000?
Yeah.
Is it worth the $3,000 to upgrade, kind of thing?
Yeah, that's right.
And that's true and that's true in cameras too. And I watch a lot of camera stuff, and depending on your use case, there may not be much difference between using an APS-C and using a top of the line full frame.
Yeah.
Depends on what you shoot, lighting conditions, and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
If you're shooting stills in good light, an APS-C or a Micro Four Thirds camera is just as good as a full frame camera for the most part, as long as you don't try to blow up the picture.
Yeah.
A monster scale.
Because I used to use that camera there for some a bit of motor racing back in the old days. Because that's got a that lens on there. That's a 300mm fixed focal length. That one there. That was good for the motor racing.
So do you still go out and watch the motor racing? Just don't take pictures of it, or take pictures of it with your phone, I should say.
No, I haven't been to the races for years.
What do you do? What do you do for fun outside the house?
Not much, really.
Got it.
I got a few knee issues at the moment. We sort of limit the mobility a bit. Can't as much as I'd like to, but yeah.
That's a little bit of what got me into drones. Probably 2018, 2019-ish. I was really looking hard at good cameras because a coworker of mine, he brought one with him when we did a trip to Dublin, Ireland, and I was just like, yeah, I really want a good camera. And so I remember this clear as day. CES 2020, was watching YouTube, and I work in the computer industry, so it's always interesting to watch stuff from CES right out in Vegas. And somehow, some way, I ran across Flight Path, and he was walking around looking at all the drones at CES, and it kind of went, drones. Ooh. I have metal knees, so I don't always necessarily get around quite so well.
Yeah.
And it got me to thinking, it's like, okay, camera on a drone, I can get the camera to places that I can't physically get to, right? Or get up and down or around because of mobility issues. Yeah. And that's literally what kind of sold me on getting the first drone. The other part of that was, the price of that Air 2 was what, Rodney? $800 when it came out. Versus, those cameras, oh my God, getting into the prosumer cameras is anywhere between $5,000 and $8,000 just to get in. By the time you get the camera body and the lenses and everything else, it's expensive to jump into that hobby. And so that's how I got the drone.
Yeah, that one on the tripod there, that's a Canon 1D, which is their sort of top of the line one.
Yeah,
that cost me, I think it was about $6,500 Australian when I bought it, and that's just for the body.
Mm-hmm.
And that 300mm lens was about $2,500 for that lens. And I've got two other of the L series lenses too. So
the 1R is supposed to launch this year. I don't even know how expensive that thing. It'll probably be $7,000 US.
Have a good day, Jim's droning.
Yeah.
You got any good cameras, Rodney?
Nah.
Besides the phone?
That
yeah, I have a Canon. I forget what it's called. I don't even use it anymore. At one time, I had a Canon FB, but I bought that when I was stationed in Japan back in '74.
Oh my goodness!
And that was the Canon F1 was top of the line back then. I mean, it was 35 millimeter film, everything,
Yeah.
And
Wonder
then
how hard it is to get film for that now.
the FB was the next step down, but it only cost me like $300 in Japan.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, from the Navy Exchange, actually. So
Except that one I got there still takes great photos. Takes fantastic photos, even though it's only 8 megapixel. The colours on it are really fantastic. They're really natural colours on it. They're excellent.
Yeah, that 1D, everybody raves about that 1D.
That does about, I think, 8.5 frames a second or something, so it's still sort of reasonably fast. Got excellent autofocus on it, so must get it off the tripod and give it a go again.
I mean, you live in a beautiful part of the world, so
yeah, that's true.
lots of things to go photo.
And you live in Peter. You live in
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Okay.
Yep. And south.
Yeah,
Which means he's not far from the beach.
No.
It's a couple of hours drive to get to like an ocean beach. Yeah. Fairly close to the big bay that Melbourne's on. That's probably only about an hour or so away, but ocean beach is a bit further. But
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with cameras. The cameras as a hobby. Oh my God! You think drones are expensive? Cameras are ungodly expensive.
When I was living in Texas, me and my third wife, we were doing videography for weddings, and I was talking to one of the photographers at this one wedding, and he had a Canon camera, and I forget what kind he had, but he paid $5,000 just for the body.
right.
Yeah,
and it looked a little bit bigger than most cameras do, but the lenses that he said the costliest thing, he had this one lens that he used when he did like nature type photography, because he was into all kinds of photography, but he said he paid like $7,000 just for that lens alone.
you know there are.
And he had to have a tripod to even use it.
Yeah, some of those larger lenses. Oh my God!
Especially if you get into the
$14,000 now.
Yeah, especially if you get into the fast ones, the f2.8s and those sort of ones. They're really expensive.
Exactly.
All the ones I've got are f4s. All the ones I've got they were expensive enough.
Yeah, an 800 like f2 point something. That's well north of $10,000 for that lens.
Yeah.
And even if you get into sort of standard lenses, so to speak, the decent ones are anywhere between $1,800 and $2,500 a pop for a lens.
Yeah. That's right.
We could buy an entire Mavic 3 Pro for what they're paying for one lens. You still have to buy the camera on top of that. So it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah,
if you
that's for sure.
Go that route.
Sounds like it sucks. Yeah, it does at times. Yeah.
I don't know.
Getting old is not for weaklings. Ain't that right, Dano?
Maybe Max needs to go. Old age sucks instead of DJI sucks.
He'll be there one day.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah. You'll know what it's like then.
He'll still be flying his RC planes, I'm sure.
Yep.
Cam Joe says on his typical Friday night high school football gigs, he has about 10K of equipment with him. And I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, I don't doubt it at all. Yeah. That was why I got into drones. Drones were cheaper than getting into cameras. Cameras are bloody expensive. Now you'll keep that stuff forever.
Yep,
so
right.
The good part about that, but I mean, how old is it? How old is that 1D of yours, Peter?
That's 2000. I got it in 2006.
And there you go. There you go.
Yep.
So, you know,
There's been
Red-
no X versions, upgrades since then. I don't know how many upgrades there's been. It would have been a lot.
sure.
Yeah.
I think the Mark 3, 1D Mark 3 or whatever it was 2019 was the last
yeah.
refresh on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't sort of stayed up with them.
But, you know, as you said, even though the thing's only 8 megapixels, it
Yeah.
takes great
Yeah.
photos. And it's
Yeah.
how many years later? 18 years later.
It's still got super fast autofocus. As I said, colours are excellent with the good lenses.
So spread the cost of that thing out over 18 years, and it wasn't bad.
That's right.
Yeah,
You only got to worry about replacing the mechanical shutter.
Yeah, that one's got less than 1,000 photos on it. That one, so
Oh, so that shutter's good. That seems to be the thing in cameras, right? Because they only have what, 100,000 clicks or whatever it is with the mechanical
like cheaper
shutter.
ones do. Yeah. I think that it's more expensive. I've got a bit more, but I've still got a few to go on that one.
Max says, speaking of old, Johnny, good morning.
And pretty soon we won't have shutters. Or won't need shutters at all because the global shutter is here. And the news this week, which was interesting, was Nikon buying Red.
Okay.
So, and Red has all those cinema cameras with all the global shutters on there, and it's actually theirs. It's their IP and their tech. So, you know,
Okay.
a lot of people are guessing that Nikon bought them so that they don't have to buy sensors from Sony anymore.
Wow, Max, you're really giving it to old Johnny.
He might need the Bengay when he starts flying that 5-inch around. You know, doing this when you're flying, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah, he'll be like,
Yeah, exactly.
I flew by myself one day, and as when I got home, I was watching the video, and as the drone was coming by, I'm sitting there like this, with my head up and to the left.
Yeah, you know, the one thing I find for sure when I'm doing the head thing is when I'm looking down, diving down, my head is definitely looking down with the drone. So it's a natural instinct to what you're seeing in the goggles. Hey, Johnny, it looks like you buzzed yourself already. You know, you did a good job of buzzing it.
Hey, Dano, you have a good day, brother. Hopefully next week we'll be able to get together and do some flying. John, Mr. JRC.
Hey, morning, Mr. J.
Good morning, John. How you doing, shipmate? I understand you're busy. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, Rodney, I was going to tell you earlier, forget the airplanes. You had the best transportation ever, a ship.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as long as you weren't down in the bowels. Up on deck would be a great view.
I don't know.
I suppose
Unless the weather's nasty, then you don't want to be up on deck.
I suppose the sleeping accommodation on those Navy ships wouldn't be real first class, would it?
No, they were okay, such as they are, but they certainly wasn't a cruise ship cabin. No, sir.
Better than a hammock from the ceiling.
So Johnny posted a link, and I'm going to share it.
Why not?
If that's okay, Johnny.
Well, he's put it up there.
I don't know what kind of music it is, but since I'm not too concerned about copyright. All right, so let's do this. Actually, to be honest. Drone Life RC, good morning, Chris. Johnny says, sure. Okay. Here we go.
On fire, guys. How's everybody doing today? Got to fly
this one.
America today, and I did get to do some rolls for the first time ever with the Avata. Want to thank especially Joe Fodolio, Maddie of Maddie's Drone World, and Hot Rod helped me through this process. And it's just rolls, no flips. But hey, I had a great time and still learning. But hey, get out there and fly. Weather was great today.
Absolutely.
We had fun. Thanks everybody for watching.
I'd like to fly at that park he's at.
Oh yeah. The fun part of watching everybody's videos, I look around and go, "Oh, there's a gap there. I could fly through that, or I could go under that." Once you start doing FPV, you just start looking for all those objects to go fly around. The sad part for him is all the nets are in those soccer gloves. There was no nets in there. You could power loop those. He's got a nice speed to this rolls.
He does have a nice speed to it.
I remember when I started, at least in my mind, it was like, oh, I need to do this really fast. So my rolls tended to be super duper fast. And it's like, yeah, the drone will hang up there for a while. You don't have to go quite that fast. From the guy who flies an RC plane upside down.
What's next, he says.
I don't know. I think your dive should be next. You just kind of did a half dive on that light post, so you kind of have to get used to seeing the ground coming up at your face quickly.
All righty. Good job, Johnny.
Yep,
hang in there, brother. You'll get it. It's all about practice.
I'm surprised I've gotten to where I have since October. But I spent a massive amount of time in the sun.
About the time I was ready to give up on FPV, it finally clicked. So I'm glad I didn't give up.
And you will always crash.
Oh yeah, that's
it happens.
Now, admittedly, the better you get, the less crashes you have.
Oh yeah.
But you're going to crash.
You're going to crash. The wind could change or the battery could sag. So.
Or you could do a flip and then realize that, whoop, I did that flip too close to that tree and fly right into the tree.
I did that with my baby hawk with a split S. I came out of the split S staring at a light post right in front of me. And I was just like,
Well, I fly at the church. Well, our youth building is there by the gazebo.
Mm-hmm.
And right behind that, the youth building is there's 4 tall trees.
Ah, gotcha.
Well, I come up over the church and I did a flip And when I came around, I realized that I was pointing down at that very last tree right at the top of it. Nothing I could do. And believe it or not, it was this drone.
Hmm.
And I'm like, so when I edited the video, I put in there, I did the flip and I go, uh-oh. And I go right through the top of the tree. I hit it, the branches going through the tree, but I made it through. So I got fortunate and I didn't crash, but it could have been so much worse.
Yeah, I had.
Hey Rodney, do you want to play
yesterday.
that video I've put there?
Oh, yeah.
As I say, I can do flips too.
Wow, look at that.
Look at that.
Very professional looking, Peter.
That's right. Yeah, takes a lot of skill to do that.
Is that the tello?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, but see, you have an advantage though. There's a button for that.
No, two buttons you got to push.
Oh, 2 buttons.
Yeah.
That's something that I've wondered with like the Avata, Rodney, with the motion controller, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know whether they didn't add some extra buttons to that thing so that you could like, okay, one is a roll, another one is a flip, kind of thing. To do those types of things for you.
I suppose you could. They could have.
Just software.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and have to end this.
Okay.
Have fun with your bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, they're not gonna be able to work today because of the rain. It started raining again, but
so the bathroom is outside the house and not inside the house.
No, it's inside the house, but some of the things they have to do outside.
Like they can do all the cutting and sawing and all that stuff outside before they bring it in. Yeah, got it.
So, but anyway, and that's fine. I mean, we're not in that big of a hurry to get it done. So, and they're pretty close. All they need, if we could just get a couple of good days with no rain, then I'm sure they would be finished.
Yeah.
But as long as this rain keeps coming and going, I mean, it's rained about every other day so far this week. So this past week. Oh, excuse me.
Well, we'll pray for a little less rain for Rodney so you can get out and fly.
Well, it's supposed to be, yeah, do that. I went out to the church last Sunday, had every intention of flying a pack like I've started doing now. I go on Sundays, I go out to my church and I get set up for the live stream.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I have enough time, I'll go out and fly a pack or maybe 2 packs, depending on how much time I have left.
Sure.
Well, last weekend when I went out there, I said, I'm not even going to attempt it. I mean, it looked like a lake out there.
Ooh, yeah. You don't want to put the drone down in that.
No, I crashed the Ollie Hawk. I went through the sign,
mm-hmm.
and there's a telephone pole that had the guy wire, right? Yeah. And I usually go between it, but I misjudged it this time, and I saw it coming. And why I didn't do anything about it, I don't know. I just saw it coming. It's like my mind froze, and I hit the guy wire, and I crashed, and it went into the ditch.
Mm.
And it was sitting right on the edge of the water. One of the motors was in the water.
Ooh.
And I walked over and I'm like, oh, this is no good. So I pulled it up. It was wet and stuff. I said, okay, well, that's it for I unplugged it. Figured it's probably smoked. Well, I gave it a couple of days to dry out, and it actually works fine. So I got lucky.
That's good.
Yeah, got lucky that it didn't land completely in the water.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys.
Okay.
Have fun.
You have a good one, Rod. Have fun flying. Peter, you have a good night.
Thank you.
Everybody in the chat, you have a good weekend. Don't forget tomorrow morning, the Sunday sunrise cruise, starting with Charlie, weather permitting, of course. From New York, coming to me here in Virginia. Cat, get out of my face. Then I keep wanting to say Dennis Lovelady, but it's probably gonna be Scott Jackrabbit FPV.
Oh, we get Scotty back.
Yeah, he's going to be filling in for Dennis while Dennis is gone. So it'll be a month, maybe.
He's a hoot. He's a hoot when he does his.
He's
with
funny.
his sound effects and stuff. It's fun.
He does good, whether he believes it or not. He does really well. Everybody brags about him when he does his live streams.
Oh yeah, he does it well.
He does it well. So, but anyway, and then after Scott will be Chris Hope out there in Texas, and then following Chris Hope will be Drones and Coffee with Johnny Drone Flyer. So, guys, stay tuned in for next weekend. Oh no, not Scott. Yeah, that's right, Johnny. Scott, get over it, dude.
Yep.
He's gonna be around for a couple of weeks at least. Yeah. So anyway, folks.
Okay.
You all have a great day.
Bye, everyone.
Great weekend.
Bye, everyone.
All right. Everybody in chat, thank you so much for being in chat. Do appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Love y'all. Bye now.